What is up, everybody? Casey here from Big Cloud Vape to bring you a video. Well, I guess you can tell from the title a little bit about e-cigs. As you know, it is January 4th today. People are making resolutions, as in losing weight, eating better, all of that junk, and also trying to get off cigarettes. And one alternative people are going to is vaping e-cigs, but they do not know where to start. They don't know if they should go to a gas station and get a disposable to start it off. They don't know if they should pay $100 to $200 starting off. They just don't know where to go. So I'm here to kind of give you a couple ideas, a little bit of info about where to start, and what I believe where you start, what route you should go down when it comes to vaping to try to get off cigarettes. As we all know, that cigarettes do have 4,000 plus chemicals that a lot we don't even know what we're inhaling. But with vaping, it mostly only contains 4 to 5 ingredients. Let's see, and I actually have that up. The 4 to 5 ingredients that is contained in e-liquid is nicotine flavoring, a type of diluent, which is usually just water to dumb down the intensity of the nicotine and flavoring to the desired spot they want it, and what they call propylene glycol and vegetable glycerine. Propylene glycol is also known as PG, is a colorless, nearly odorless, clear, viscous liquid with a faintly sweet taste. It is common base solution used in a range of pharmaceutical products and a food additive often referred to as E1520. And vegetable glycerin, VG, is a vegetable glycerin like propylene glycol, is a common food and pharmaceutical additive, is used to provide similar functions of bulking, diluting, and stabilizing a range of common products, is often referred to as E422. So instead of inhaling, the 4,000 plus chemicals in your body, with vaping you're only inhaling 4 to 5, which is basically water vapor. The only one thing is some people are allergic to the propylene glycol, but other than that, it's basically vaping water vapor. And with the nicotine, of course, nicotine's not healthy for you, but as I said, it's a lot better than inhaling 4,000 plus. The nicotine's to help you slowly come down off cigarettes. You start usually off with about 30. Well, I mean, if you're a heavy smoker, you start off in the 30s. 30 milligram nic, and you'll slowly go down to like 22, 24, 18, 12, 6, and you might eventually get off vaping, or you'll just vape around the 6, 8 milligram, or even 0 milligram nic e-liquid. So let's see, I got an example right here. Let's see. Right here I have AK-47, which is a peach flavored. This is actually a 0 milligram, so it won't give a throat hit, but I mean it will you'll find a little bit of a throat hit because of how much vapor you're putting in you. But I usually mix it with a 8 milligram it will equal out to about a 4 milligram nic for every hit you do. Like some bottles will come in like this, and then some bottles will come in also like this. This is one of my favorites. It's a red velvet cake, which is pretty awesome. It's a 8 milligram. I do not mix this with AK because the peach and red velvet doesn't really mix. But usually when I'm vaping out a variable voltage, I usually do an 8 milligram. But when I do a mechanical, I usually mix it between 4 milligram. I will go into variable voltage and mechanical in just a minute. So starting off, most people start off with starter kits that contain a Ego. I'll just take that off. A Ego is basically kind of like a gas station e-cigarette, where it's just one button and you get vapor then blow out. It's, as you can see here, has a button right there. Let's see if it's powered on. Actually, it's already on. Basically, you hit it 3 times and it turns on, and you put on a top, which is called a clearmizer. A clearmizer is, it can be a top or bottom coil. What you do is, these are about $4 to $5 each. I'm certain of. They could be cheaper where you live. What these are disposable clearmisers. So what you do is you just buy one of these at your local vape shop or online, and all you do is you sometimes screw off the bottom or the top, and you fill it with e-liquid. Just screw it on your Ego, make sure it's charged, and you just hit it. And that's really basically it. After about a week and a half to 2 weeks, you will throw the top part away, the whole thing, and replace it with another one. Some starter kits, I do not have it with me. It comes with a cartomizer. It's like a small cylinder, silver cylinder, which you can also drip in it, and then you replace those every 1.5 to 2 weeks. It doesn't give you as much vape, and the taste isn't as strong. And with these, you can drop different liquids, drip different liquids after they're gone, and you'll get a slight hint, but eventually the hint will change or go away and will taste like the liquid you have in it. With the cartomizers, the silver ones, the taste usually stays in them all the time. You can't really get those out. So, but those are cheaper. I would say about $2 each, $1 to $2 each for each of those cartomizers. You throw those away about a week and a half to 2 weeks. So, if you're thinking about getting a Ego or a Ego and a Clearmizer, or if you're gonna get Ego, I would go ahead and get a Clearmizer with it because it will give you more taste and a better hit overall. The next step of a e-cig would be a variable voltage. I'm not going to go in depth with the ohms. I might do that in a later video, but this one actually isn't charged. Basically, you press the buttons on top and bottom, which can change the power or the watts, so you'll be getting a bigger hit or a smaller hit. This one goes to 15 watts, which you really don't need to hit 15, but around starting off, you would probably do 8 or 9 watts, which would give you a good hint or hit, good warm vape. If you want a little bit more vape and a little bit warmer, you'd go up, but it could taste a little bit burnt and not so much of a hit or warm vape. You go down to, I think it goes to 3 watts. You can get, this one is called a iTaste BV. This one's around $40 to $50. You probably find it cheaper, a little bit cheaper online. You can also get a SVD. There's a lot more. I have a Vamo V3 with me, which is basically the same thing, a variable voltage, where you just hit the buttons up here to change the watts, and you have a menu to change the display. You can check your ohms, which I said I'll probably do later on in the video. But you can use a Clearmizer with the variable voltage, but with the variable voltage you cannot have the watts so high because it will taste pretty burnt. If you go above, I'd say 8 to 9 watts on it, it tastes pretty burnt. So I advise you get something like this. It's called a ProTank. It's a Kangertech ProTank 2. They have a new one, Kangertech ProTank 3 out. Just get something like this where you can change the coil. All you do is you screw the on this one, you just screw the bottom off, and then you screw the coil out and just throw that away after about a week and a half to 2 weeks, which they cost about $1 or $2. But you don't throw this away. This costs about $20 at my local vape shop. But all you do is about a week and a half to 2 weeks, you just throw this away, the coil away, and just replace another one. It's kind of like a Clearmizer, but like I said, the taste will be a little bit better, and overall the quality is going to be a little bit better. And you can actually clean the coil a lot better than a Clearmizer so you get a better after you vape and you want another flavor. The next flavor that you put in you won't really taste the hint of the previous flavor, so you can change out the flavors within the week and a half with the same coil and vape different flavors. But yeah, basically it just screws on top like that. Just hit this one's you hit 5 times and then it turns on, 5 times it turns off. But yeah, it's just a variable voltage. You can turn it up, down for more vape or less vape, and warmer vape and not as so warmer vape. It's just with this compared to the Ego, it's going to be, the quality is a lot better in my opinion, and you'll get a lot more vape with a variable voltage than a ego. And let's see, I'm gonna go a little bit. I'm gonna kind of give you some of my opinions at the end of the video about what you should maybe start out with. I'm just giving you a little information about the different types of e-cigarettes when it comes to the basic to the more advanced. One of the most advanced ones you will get is a mechanical mod. It's where you have to build a coil yourself. So this is more for advanced users. I wouldn't advise you to start off with this, but if you end up loving, or not loving, but really like vaping, I would eventually go to a mechanical, because you'll not be disappointed in what you pay for. Right now I have a Magneto, a smoke Magneto, however you want to say it. It is a mechanical mod. As you can see, it has a firing pin on the bottom. All you do, get my arms around that. You unscrew that, and you hit a button right here, which will trigger the post. Will hit the battery, blah blah blah, and it will vape for you, and you'll get a lot more vape than off a variable voltage. Well, some variable voltages they can compare to a mechanical, but when it comes to mechanical, you will get a lot more vape than a, say, ego or a variable voltage. As you can see right here, it's kind of, I don't know if this will focus at all. Yeah, but what I have is you can build microcoils. That's what I have, 2 microcoils with a I believe a 4-5 wrap. What it means is when you start the wrap, you get a 1/16 nail, and you start the wrap at the bottom. And when you start at the bottom, it's already basically a half wrap, because when you start wrapping it, it's already halfway around the nail. So you wrap it 4 more times, so it's basically 4.5 wrap. So you say between it 4-5 wrap. So if you do 5.5 wraps, it's a 5-6 wrap. And I have a 4-5. And like I said, with ohms, I'll get more into it, but right now I have a 0.43 ohm coil, and I have 100% organic cotton in my RBA, my RBA, rebuildable atomizer. It's a Ego W4, and I'm not sure what my holes are drilled out to, but it's basically you get an RBA, which you build the coil, and a mechanical. All the power comes from the battery, so no matter what, like with the variable voltage, your mod's going to give you the same power output till the battery's not till it's dead, but for a long time you're gonna get the same power for a while with your variable voltage, because of all the wires and how it functions within the mod. I'd have to look up a little bit more about that, but with this, all it is, it takes the power straight from the battery. So whatever your battery is how how much power you're going to get out of it. So if your battery is 50%, you're going to, I wouldn't say 50% vape, or 50% less vape than if it was 100%. I'm just saying you're not going to get as much vape. And the lower ohms, like I said, next video, lower ohms, warmer, more vape. Higher ohm, not as warm and less vape. I'll actually have my battery in this, and I'll actually show you a quick hit on this one. I'll do one more, hold on. I think the battery is almost dead in that one, but yeah, it's a mechanical mod. And like I said, here's the variable voltage, Vamo V3, iTaste VV, and an Ego. So those are really the basic 3 steps, not 3 steps, 3 levels: the basic, intermediate, and the advanced. Now, my opinions when it comes to where you should start. Okay, when you start if you smoke cigarettes and you start vaping, you will not want to stop vaping. That is 99.9%. I am 99.9% sure that's what's going to happen. And lot of people who start vaping and end up loving it, they start off with an ego and then they change to a variable voltage. And so my opinion is, if you're going to start vaping, if a friend of yours has an ego, I'd try theirs out, and once you like it, I would go ahead and get a variable voltage. I wouldn't start at a ego, because once you start when you like vaping, you're gonna go ahead and buy the variable. So there's really no point of buying the ego. So you're spending, I'd say, $50, maybe $60 for a starter kit, and then you set that aside and you start smoking your variable voltage. So you're really down $60. So instead of paying $60, then say $70 for a variable. That's $130 in all. Just go ahead and buy the $70 mod, and you save $60. Because I promise you, you will like vaping and you will not want to stop. So just skip right to the mod, and you will not be sad that you did so. And then eventually you'll probably go ahead and get a mechanical. Mechanical is more not as a public smoke. It's more of your own house around, not so public because it creates so much vapor. A mod is more for a public area because, like I said, it doesn't create as much smoke, and that's just when you're out and about and shopping or whatever you want to do. But that's really all I have to say about this topic. If you are trying to get off cigarettes for the New Year's and a resolution is to find a way to quit smoking, I would. Or if you're trying to start vaping, I would, like I said, start off with a mod. But I hope this video kind of gave you a little bit of information about where you should start. If you need any help what sites to buy from, or any more about what you should actually get, or what kind of liquid, where should you start, just any questions you have about vaping or e-cigs, you should just let me know. I can refer you great stores online that have great discounts and some of the best e-liquid I have ever had. So if you have any information or any questions, you can leave a comment below. Just email me or whatever you want to do. It's going to be one thing you're not going to regret. Vaping is, you're not going to want to stop. But I hope you found this video a little bit informative. So if you have any questions, like I said, comment below, and keep vaping, and happy late New Year.